And I was the only one that actually got into Brawl Stars. Like, like this crazy thing just happened in Brawl Stars. And like my friends are gone. Like,
I don't have friends anymore.
exactly. That's how I felt. I was so mad. It was. I love the Wii U. I used to watch anime on there all the time.
I didn't know you could do that.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Mobile Gamers Podcast. We are your hosts, Taz and Lobs, and today we are joined with none other than Natwithaheart.
To say Nat is only an icon is an understatement. As a content creator for Tribe Gaming, she has cemented herself as one of the greats in the Brawl Stars community with her personality and charm.
Nat has amassed over 200,000 followers across all of her social media platforms, from purely being herself and giving people something to laugh about. Nat, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
That's awesome. That's perfect. It's perfect.
So we like to start this podcast off with kind of like a fun question to kind of get the conversation rolling. So just curious, what is your favorite live stream to watch right now?
My favorite live stream. I would definitely say like I love watching Tylo. I don't know if you guys know Tylo. He's a Brawl Stars streamer.
Oh, yeah.
But
Of course.
He's great.
I've been like haven't really been on Twitch lately, but I always enjoy watching Tylo.
Obviously, we know that you were, streaming before you started creating YouTube content and before you, I guess, blew up and people like knew who Nat was. Can you give us like a basic rundown of like what your life was like before creating content, like how that kind of progressed into making content?
Right. So like before I started, I was in college and I was studying for childhood like education, like early childhood, like preschool through like third grade. And I know like before I was super into Brawl Stars. Like I got into it from like a long distance friend. He wanted to play a game that all of us can play together. And I was the only one that actually got into Brawl Stars. Like none of my friends played. So then I ended up like joining the Brawl Stars Reddit Discord. I made friends with a bunch of people. And then like I met one of my friends, Keith, who used to stream Brawl Stars all the time, like 24/7. He was like the second person to get like partnered on like Brawl Stars like Twitch. And I was like, oh my God, like I want to start streaming. Like this looks so fun. But I had a really bad like laptop at the time. So like my sister was visiting for like a couple months. She like used to live in Italy before that. But she had a good laptop. I had a really, really bad laptop. So once she like visited, I was like, hey, like, can I try your laptop and see if like I could stream? And that's literally what started it. My sister like visiting, I was able to use her laptop. I was so happy.
That's awesome. So like, did you start playing Brawl Stars before it went into global launch?
I started playing like 2 months after it came out.
Oh, okay, like right back.
That's OG.
Because like the game was in beta for like a year and a half almost.
It was a long time.
Well, because like I guess the way that I think about it is like, because I started playing Brawl Stars when the game went global, because it wasn't like out in my country, and I didn't know at the time you could like download it in like certain ways.
Right.
But like it almost like it went kind of unnoticed for a while. Like people got really hyped when it came out, and then because it was in beta for so long, like there was so much I guess talk around if the game would even like go into global.
Yeah.
When had you decided that this was going to be a career for you? Like obviously this is like way down the track.
I honestly didn't think it was gonna be, because my parents are always like, oh, like school,
That sounds exactly the same as me.
So like after when I finished college, I ended up like getting a teaching job. I was assistant for a little bit for a preschool, but then it was like a training, like I was an assistant, but I was being trained to become like a lead teacher. So like once the pandemic happened, they like closed down for like a month, and then they were like, okay, everybody's coming back. But that was like at the heat of the pandemic. Like it was gonna be it was like after 4th of July, they were like, okay, we want everybody back. And I was like, oh no, like I can't do that. So I ended up quitting. I made a tweet about it, and then I was like, oh, like I'm gonna start focusing on like content now that I quit, like because my parents like are fine with me like quitting my job and like them helping me out, because it's like really scary. And then I tweeted about it, and then I ended up getting like a message from Pat, like Chief Pat, and he was like, oh, we have like an offer for you. And I was like, wow, like that was like the one time I was like, okay, like maybe I can make this into like a career.
That is so awesome.
That's awesome.
Because I was kind of gonna ask about like how Tribe Gaming came into the picture, because like I think a lot of people will know you from Tribe Gaming. Like most people didn't really know who Nat was before Tribe Gaming was in the picture, and that's not a bad thing. It's just I think a lot of like popularity kind of popped up when Tribe started picking up content creators.
Right. Yeah. So that's basically like how I got into Tribe. And then like I totally agree. Like once I got into Tribe, because I used to only like stream, and I made like maybe like 2 YouTube videos, and just like growing on YouTube, I feel like it's a lot harder, but because like Tribe was like promoting me while being in these like videos with them, like I definitely like progressed and like got a lot of more subscribers and stuff.
Was your job that you had after college, or were you still in school then?
It was after college. Yeah.
Okay. Would you recommend that someone drop out of school to pursue content creation? Just asking for a friend.
I would definitely always have a backup, because like I've talked about this with like other people. Like I have a friend who is like, he's also in Tribe, and he went to college, like he had he's done, like he has his major, and he's always like wondering, like, like what happens if Brawl Stars dies? What happens if my YouTube channel like tanks? Like what's gonna happen? Like it's good to always have a backup. And I feel the same way too. Like I have my teaching license. Like if YouTube doesn't work out for me, I could go ahead and like
go back to that.
Exactly.
Is that stressful? Because like I feel like a lot of people romanticize YouTube and everything, kind of think of it as a dream job. But can it be stressful because you don't really have job security? One day your channel could just kind of disappear.
Definitely. Like I think about it a lot, especially like with my parents, because one, like we're technically like contractors, so we can't get health insurance. Like we have like from like a job, you know what I mean? Like you have to pay for that, and like pay like the most money to get health insurance. Like retirement, you got to think about like putting money aside, and then a lot of the times you get like untaxed money, like so you have to pay a lot of money to taxes. And then like it's just so it's really stressful, because like it's fun, and like it's nice that you don't have to like wake up at like 6 a.m. and like go like far to your job. Like your job is just like on your computer, but it is like a lot of work. And like sometimes like your videos might not do well. Like whenever you post a video, it tells you how well it's doing out of 10, and a 10 is bad. And most of my videos are 10. So like whenever, like it literally like affects you, because like it's just a huge like competition with like yourself.
Yeah. How did you find the format that worked for you?
So like I mentioned before, like the whole like 10 out of 10 video stuff. Like, so I notice like what does well whenever I like post a video and what doesn't. So like I kind of like tested around and did things that like people were doing, you know what I mean? Like, oh, like top 10 gadgets, top 10 like I don't know, star powers. And I was like, okay, I kind of like doing that stuff, but then I also like really like playing with my friends and just like messing around. And I feel like that's a lot more engaging and a lot more fun. And especially like in the beginning when I started, like when I would edit my own stuff, because when I first started, I was like, dang, like this video, like I'll be editing a video, I'll be like, dang, this is boring. I'd be like, dang, I don't want to post this. So like I just like I try to think of like, oh, what would be fun, you know what I mean? And then like especially since like playing with my friends, I find them like so funny, and like I feel like our energy is like the same, especially when we play together.
Yeah, like you can compete with energies, and it kind of like blows everything up. Which it's kind of like the big part of things is like and I've kind of noticed this with like creating videos as well. Like you can create a video and like you can spend so long on it. But you're like I don't even find this fun. Like why would someone else find this fun?
Exactly.
And it's like always like working with other creators can make, I guess, your life a lot easier, because then you're not just like trying to entertain, no one. I know, like, for example, like here, if it was just me doing this podcast, it'd be much harder to like try and create conversation. But that's why I love this.
Yeah, I'm here to fill in that space when Taz isn't talking.
But it's like having like multiple people to like, create conversation. It makes it less of a task to make. Like you're actually enjoying like what you're doing and you're having fun.
And that shows through as well. Like you can't really fake the authenticity. Even like in a YouTube video with all like the editing and everything, people can still tell if you're like not actually enjoying yourself. And that's why I think the best content is truly having fun with friends and just kind of messing around, and the content just comes naturally. Yeah.
I agree.
What does a day in your life look like? Because I think you talked about this before, how, you don't have to drive like 6 a.m. to like a job.
Yeah.
But like, we've got a lot of perspectives from different people who have like, slightly different jobs, but all in the creator space. What is your like, day routine, I guess?
All right. So I'm on a really bad sleep schedule. So like mine is probably not the same as like I don't know, like I'm struggling, but so like basically like I'll wake up, like I try to like not use an alarm clock because those always like stress me out. And I try not to like, because like I don't know, like if I wake up and I'm like, oh, like I don't want to do this, like it's just gonna like kill the mood of like creating stuff. Yeah, so like I try to like, because I could like make a video whenever. It's not like Brawl Stars is gonna like turn off at any time. So I'm like, you know what? I can make this video. Like I could relax for a little bit and then like make it. So then so like I wake up, I get ready, and then I like record. And thankfully I have editors. Like before I didn't, and it used to take me a very, very, very long time to like finish up a video. But yeah, so like I'd send it to my editors, and like I've been trying, like recently I've been trying to do like more like time consuming videos. Like I did like a Power League video, like trying to get like the Neon Nita skin. So that took like literally hours. Then I tried to get 40K in a day. That took 9 hours. And then yesterday I did like another Power League video that took like, I don't even know how long, maybe like 4 hours. So like I've been trying to do like more stuff like that than like what I did before. Like sometimes I'll do like a 30-minute video. I'll be like, all right, that's it. But like I'm really trying to do like more stuff that like I know people are gonna enjoy and I take more time doing, and I'm really, really gonna be happy about. Because like before I was just like, okay, I'm gonna make a video just because, and just because I need to post a video, you know what I mean? And there
was like no structure to it. Just you needed to do it because people expected something of you.
Exactly. And I'm like, you know what? I want to have fun with it. I want to do like cool stuff. So I started doing that. So then like I'll make a video. It might take a long time, but then so then I like send it to the editor. Sometimes I make my own thumbnails too. Like I've been dabbling on that. Like I just like started learning that. So like I'd either like make the thumbnail, or like I'll like tell somebody to make it for me, and then the rest of the day is just Valorant.
Like I've just like, because like we're friends on Discord, and like literally all I see is just like Nat playing Valorant.
Whenever I'm done with a video.
Valorant's a great game.
Are you good at Valorant?
I'm decent. I just hit like silver 1, but like I feel like it's a little tough staying up there if I don't play with like people that like I don't know,
like 5 stacks. You need to be like playing with people to coordinate.
Exactly.
Are you a PC gamer as well as like a mobile gamer?
I would definitely say so, because like I first got my PC to stream. Like I wasn't really into like PC games. Like I didn't even know how to like use a keyboard. But to be honest, like I'm not even that good with controller either. Like I only had like a GameCube and like a Switch and like the Wii U. So like those are the only
best consoles though.
Controller. Like I don't know like a PS4 controller.
But the Wii was great.
Wii U?
It was. I love the Wii U. I used to watch anime on there all the time.
I didn't even do that.
But yeah, like I wasn't good at like controllers, so like I was like, oh, I don't even think like I'm a gamer. Honestly, I didn't consider myself a gamer until like all my friends got into COD, and I was like, oh, like my friends are gone. Like I can't talk to them anymore. They're just on COD.
I don't have friends anymore.
So then exactly, that's how I felt. I was so mad. I was like, please stop playing COD and like talk to me. So then I bought the game, and like they always played on controller. So like I had to play on PC because I don't have a console. And so like I started playing, and it took me literally months to like actually like be decent.
Yeah.
So that's like where I started. Wow. Like it would be like Cold War, like the COD that like came out before this new COD. So yeah, and then like me and my friend Menace always play scary games. So we'd play COD, like a bunch of scary PC games like that are on Steam, and then we play Fortnite. And now it's like Valorant. I don't know if I play like any other like crazy games that Among Us PC.
Yeah,
that's a scary game.
But
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
especially when like Lobs is playing. That's a bit scary.
What is that? What does that even mean?
Just making content.
The shade.
I can't play scary games because I get scared too easily. I couldn't even beat Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm that like.
Oh my god, I love that game.
I couldn't do it. I tried on stream.
It's a great game. Yeah,
it stresses me out.
I'm a watcher. It's like I watch people like Markiplier play. Like that was like my go-to.
I love watching people play, but I also like getting scared.
Oh, I just can't. I hate horror movies. I hate anything like that.
Do you watch horror movies by yourself, Nat?
I wouldn't say by myself. I always definitely watch it with somebody because I think it's fun. Yeah. Like when I was like younger, I have these like two of my best friends since like really young, like 3rd grade, 4th grade, and we used to have sleepovers all the time. We used to watch scary movies all the time, and it'd just be like so funny watching them get so scared. And I was like, that's my favorite.
Terrible,
yeah, and that's like. I don't know. Like, I just find it funny. I find it fun getting scared too.
Yeah. Well, it's like, it definitely is one of those
I was that
things.
friend that got scared.
Yeah. So was I. Like, I refuse to watch like horror movies or like, even like playing horror games. I hate it. Like Five Nights at Freddy's is probably like one of those games where like it comes down to like, if you're like good enough at the game, you don't get scared because you can just like beat the level.
Right.
But I feel like I just couldn't download any other games and play them.
Yeah.
Especially by myself. God, that'd be terrible.
I think it's better to play like scary games with somebody though, because like you feel like somebody's there with you, and like they're also like scared, and you guys are helping each other. But like playing a scary game by myself, not talking to anybody, I feel like I'd probably be freaked out.
Yeah.
You're one of the biggest female content creators in the entire mobile scene. What is it like to be like a female in the mobile gaming scene, or just the gaming scene in general?
I feel like it's kind of tough because like I get like unnecessary hate for just being a girl.
Oh.
Like I get like a lot of comments that are like, you only have a code because you're a girl, you only got this because you're a girl, and then like a lot of like sexist like comments. But like I feel like another side is that like I worked really hard and I did what I can to be where I am right now. So I also want to be like I don't know what the word is. Like I want to be like, if like a girl's playing a game, like even if it's mobile or like PC, even though like I'm mostly like mobile, I want them to be like, oh, like a girl's playing, like that's so awesome, like I could play this too, like even though this is supposed to be a boys game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it's like half and half. Like I feel like kind of bad about it sometimes because like all the comments, and then I feel like happy because there's girls who like see me and are like, oh, I want to do that too.
Like inspirations.
Right.
Awesome. Yeah. And I guess like we can probably segue that into what inspires you to create content and be yourself.
I would definitely just say like how fun it is. Like I always loved Brawl Stars, and I like enjoyed it a lot, and I feel like I want to make like content that's like super enjoyable and fun. Like one of my biggest like influences were Quackity, because like I really enjoyed his videos. I really enjoyed his editing, and like when I first started doing YouTube, I was like, I want to make videos like him. And like it took a long time to like edit like that. So, and now I have editors, but like I feel like I kind of like went away from that and started doing like stuff with my friends that I feel like is fun and like funny.
Yeah.
But I would definitely say like just being like creative and like having fun is like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like sometimes even I struggle to like come up with video ideas or like just know what to even try and create. Because I feel like,
Yeah.
especially with like, you know, if you look at Brawl Stars, it's been around for so long. And sometimes it's really hard to think of a new like idea.
True.
Well, like, I mean, how do you deal with that? Like, how do you come up with a new idea? Because like you create videos, you know, regularly.
Right. So what I do, and like I got this like from my friend who like kind of helps like Chief Pat like with ideas too, is that he usually like looks at other games, and I know a lot of people do this too, but they look at other games and see what they're doing and see if they could do that in like Brawl Stars. Like for an example, like Kairos did like the Nuzlocke for Brawl Stars, and
it
that's
blew
like
up.
something people's
Yeah.
been doing. Yeah. And but like it's a first thing for Brawl Stars, so like it was like whoa, but you know like people have done that in the past, and I'm not saying like he's like copying or anything, because I don't consider that like copying at all. I think it's just
No.
taking like a really good idea and making it like something totally cool and different in like Brawl Stars, because nobody's done it before. So I think, yeah, so that's like what I usually do. Like I'll look at like Dream and stuff and see like what he's doing. I'll like jot down notes. I'll see what other people are doing. But like if it's Brawl Stars related, I'll be like, oh, I got this idea from this person, because like I also want to like credit them
Where
too.
credit's due. Yeah.
I really liked when you were talking about how you've been kind of switching up your content to more kind of long videos and stuff, and I kind of got the vibe, I could be totally wrong with this, that you were worrying less about numbers and more worrying about having fun with the content. Would you say that's the case? And has that been making YouTube easier for you because you've been enjoying it more?
I feel like it's a little bit of like kind of both, because if I do something like fast, I feel like people aren't, it depends. Like sometimes people will get like interested in it. Like sometimes I do like a tier list for like skins, Brawl Stars, and a lot of people might like it. But like those videos take like that, like it won't take that long.
Yeah.
And sometimes like they'll like it, and then sometimes it'll flop. But then like I know, like let's say like I push to a 40K, like I know like people are gonna want to watch it, like no matter like if they're in, like, because if you think about like a skin video, you got to think of like people might not even want to buy the skins, you know what I
Right.
mean, because there's free to play. So I think it's like a little bit of both, because like I look at the numbers, I see what does well, and like I know like pushing like a 40K, which is like a long video, is going to do well, because like that's something that is relatable to everyone.
Yeah.
So I think I try to be more like relatable.
Yeah.
Kinda. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's also like fun to do those.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the relatability is like one of the biggest things, where like you want to try and produce content that your audience wants to watch, but then also kind of like, you know, get that barrier of like, if you're making content only because your audience wants it, like you're just gonna hate the job you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What Ray tells me is that like he will do like videos that might like more new audience might click on, and then like he'll do like one or two, because he posts every single day. So like let's say like he'll do like a couple like videos where everybody will click, and he'll be like, hey guys, like if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, subscribe to me, you know, because like a lot of people will click on that. But then he'll also do those videos for the subscribers that he already has, that he knows they're going to enjoy it, but new subscribers might not watch it. So I guess like you always have to have like a mix of like what your subscribers will like, and then what new subscribers might like.
That's a really good way to think about it. Yeah, like I guess I like always have that kind of ideal in the back of my mind, but I guess like And this kind of goes back to, you creating, content that makes you happy. I mean, because like, look at your Twitter feed. It's just like the most like random stuff ever. It's just you complaining like, oh, I need to be like asleep, right? And it's like, then you'll post a tweet like 2 hours later, and you're like, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's like you're not trying to be someone else that you're not. And I guess like, anyone watching this podcast can like take away the fact that like you don't need to pretend to be someone else.
100%. I think that's like what makes the best like content, and like what makes like your personality like really show. Like you always got to be like genuine, and like if you're always like forcing it and like acting like different, like you're not even going to enjoy the content that you make. You know what I mean? Like if you're always like screaming like, oh, like this crazy thing just happened in Brawl Stars, and like that's not like how you really are, like you're gonna hate your job. Like I can't imagine. Like sometimes like I try to like hype myself up, but like not to the point where I'm like exhausted after making a video,
Yeah, exactly.
Like Mr. Beast for his videos, he's definitely more excited than I assume he is in real life. He's not like, we're going to get McDonald's. Like, I don't think he's doing that.
Yeah.
He's definitely like hyping himself up, but he's still like, he's his true, genuine self, which I think is super important. Which is why people like you, because your personality.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm gonna go.
Go for it, Lobs.
I'm sorry. That was so rude. I'm sorry. I always thought YouTube was like the dream job back like in middle school. Well, I still think that, but I didn't really know what kind of went on behind the scenes of YouTube. I'm like, dang, this person just gets to play video games all day. Like that's so lit. How would you kind of explain your job to someone who doesn't really know what YouTube is?
So like I do have like friends that like I hang out with, and they're just like, oh, it's the famous streamer or whatever. And like I'm just like, shut up.
Yeah.
But like I like try to explain to them, because like a lot of it is like, it's like a lot of planning and like a lot of like being like creative. Like in most jobs, like you go in and they're like, you just have work to do, and you just like sit there and like do like what you're supposed to do. So like this one's a little different, because like one, there's like a huge like competitive scene like with yourself, with other people. Like you're always trying to like be better, do better, like every single day. So like that's like why, like what I try to like say. And like a lot of people are just like, they just think like, oh, like she does nothing all day, or like, oh, she just sits down and plays video games all day. But it's like a lot more than that. Like there's, like I said, like planning. Like I've gotten into like arguments with my friends, because like sometimes like they'll invite me out and I'm like, hey, like I can't hang out today, like I'm doing something. Yeah, and they're like, really? Like I have a job too. And like I'm just like, well, we all have jobs, so we all have to like work and like do things. So I feel like a lot of people think it's just like sitting down and like doing nothing all day, but like it's like a really stressful.
It's the absolute opposite sometimes. Like with us like creating this podcast, and people are going to be like, oh, I could have easily made a podcast. The amount of background work that we've been doing for like weeks, getting like stuff done, people would never know about. And, we would never tell them about it either. It's stuff that you have to do to start with. And then once you kind of get in that mindset of like, sweet, like I've kind of like learned all this stuff and we've got all this stuff started, then you have, then you can have like fun and like, bring on Nat or Itsu or,
right.
whoever.
That'd be so fun if we had Itsu on. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, it would be really, really fun. Definitely.
That would be really cool.
What a great name for the podcast that would be.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we've been like, this is our first episode of the podcast, and we've been working for, what day is it? We've been working for over a month, 3 to 5 hours a day to get this ready. And we still have a lot more work to go before we get this live. so much more.
Yeah.
Like it is much more than just recording for an hour and then just hitting upload. There's a lot behind the scenes, and it's very humbling to kind of see what other content creators go through. Like, don't get me wrong, so much fun, but it also is a lot of work.
Well, like most people don't know what it's like to be a content creator, and you can obviously understand why, because it's a very like luck based occupation to get into. You've got to have that element of luck or skill in the sense of like you've got to know like when to start making content and like what to make content on. And from
That's
your
true.
experience, how much of this industry is luck and how much of it is hard work?
I definitely feel like it's both like half and half. Like, because I feel like you have to like really work hard on like what you do. Like you have to make like a good video, good thumbnail, something like people are clicking on. And I feel like there's so many videos on YouTube and there's so much content, and it's just, I feel like it also could be like luck, that especially when you're first starting and you don't really have like, let's say like you're starting at like 0 subscribers. Like I feel like if you're starting from there, it's all like, I think it might be like luck too. But like you also have to like put up things that like people are gonna click on. Like you can't just like post a video that you didn't like nothing on and be like, oh, I hope like somebody
We'll
clicks
watch
on
this.
it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
But
like,
I don't know. I think it's half and half.
yeah, definitely. Like once you get past that, like that, I mean, I definitely think the mobile game industry has a lot like less barriers of entry. Like it's much less competition, like in terms of how to submit yourself as like the big creator. Like you don't need a huge amount of views comparatively to like, I mean, you know,
Right.
PewDiePie or like Markiplier, you know, like all these massive creators who get millions of views per video, like on a
Right.
constant level. I think it's the kind of good part about it, where you can kind of like, it gives you a lot of time to like learn how to get to that next stage. Do you have a plan in terms of like where you see yourself like in 5 years, or like, you know, in the next year? Like, do you have, you know, like an idea of like where you're going to take your content?
I've been definitely like thinking about it recently. That's why I was like, oh, like that's interesting that you like said that. But like I'm hoping like in 5 years, like Brawl Stars is still a thing and I'm still
Yeah.
like making content. But like if let's say like I always think about like what if it like Brawl Stars like dies, or like what if like my YouTube channel doesn't do well anymore, or like doesn't like progress. And like I always have like the option of teaching, you know,
Yeah,
like I'm
yeah.
hoping it doesn't go there. But then like what's interesting is that I've seen so many people like that used to be like YouTubers or working on like YouTube stuff or like in organizations getting into YouTube work.
Like
So
business kind of creating.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like let's say like, oh, like YouTube doesn't work for me, but I have like this strong connection with Tribe, and Tribe is still like doing stuff. Maybe I could work for them. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like I always like try to like think of like just in case. But also like let's say like my YouTube channel does do well, then I think I'm just gonna like continue like doing like trying to like progress and like putting like way more work into my videos, and like still trying to make these videos that take me a long time, like how I did like the 40K push like I mentioned before. Like
Yeah.
I want to keep doing like stuff like that, and like super engaging videos and videos that people will enjoy.
Yeah.
Mm,
It's awesome.
absolutely.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that get involved in content creation and it doesn't really work out for them how they would expect. You know, like they're like not their YouTube channel didn't blow up, but they made connections in the community and were able to find a successful career that way. And while like for me, I always see those like channels that haven't posted in like a couple years or whatever. Like Casey Neistat, he hasn't posted in over a year, I think, or he posted just a couple times last year. And I'm like, dang, that's sad. Like he doesn't upload anymore. Like I hope he's doing okay. And he has like a whole like movie industry that he does now, and he's like super
Yeah.
successful outside of YouTube. So a lot of people can use it as a like a stepping stone. You know, they get involved in YouTube and then they can go into an even more successful career, which I think is kind of awesome.
Exactly. Like I've seen like I think it was the YouTube gaming like representative or lead, something like that. And he like obviously like he has this like huge like platform, like it was like crazy, and he used to help all these creators. And then like that's probably like a huge like a really crazy example, but like he like stepped down and now he's doing like something else like with like crypto and stuff, which
Right.
I think is like really cool because like he had that like connection of being like this like YouTube person helping these creators, and he understands like the space. So like he progressed into like something even more, which I think is really, really cool.
Absolutely. Like, I definitely don't think that like, and this is like what I also like, you know, tell my family, you know, like they go like, oh, why are you spending so much time on something that like makes you no money? But it's also like, you know, I feel like everyone has kind of got to that point in their like creatorship where like people are going to tell you that like what you're doing is just dumb, or like that you're not doing anything productive. I think like you've got to come in with the mindset of like, you know, this isn't a job, but you're trying to create a career from nothing.
Right.
Like you're building, you know, you start with 0 followers. You know, everyone has to be there. You know, Nat was there once before, and now look at her. Or like, look at Chief Pat. You know, he now owns one of the, I think you could probably easily say, the biggest mobile gaming organization in the world. And these people had humble backgrounds. They started from nothing. And there are so many people along the way that will tell you like, you know, just stop. You're doing like, this is like terrible. But like, you got to keep pushing through that. So you kind of talked about before how like you've had your fair share of people telling you, you know, that you should just like stop making content, or like that you've got lots, you know, haters just from, you know, being yourself. Does it get better? You know, like, do you get people that will start supporting you? Yeah, but also like, you know, it's probably quite a good question.
No, I like that.
It definitely does, because one, like I feel like even though there's like haters, there's gonna be like people who are super supportive and super positive and super nice to you.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'll have like one mean comment, but then I'll have like 20 really nice ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I will admit, like getting like one comment is still like hurtful. You know what I mean? Like it might even like hold more to you than like the 20 like nice comments.
Right.
So like I try to like not look at that. You know what I mean? But I would definitely say it does get better. And then like even if like it does get hard, like you like personally for me, like I talk to people who also like go through the same things. Like I talk to Ray a lot and about it, and like obviously like I'm sure he gets so many like rude comments, but like sometimes you just gotta like push through and just remember that there's people who like enjoy your content, and like you have people on your side, like friends, family, who also like really care about you and want to see you succeed. So just like having like that, like just like a friend or like just anybody to talk to, like whenever you're feeling down, just definitely makes it like better.
A support group
absolutely
to be around. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Exactly.
I know for me, like for school, when I would get like a test back, if I got like a 90% on it, I would instantly start looking through the test to see what I got wrong. Like I don't know what it is, but like you just instantly focus on the negative, and that's like the thing that stands out to you.
Exactly.
Do you have any like strategies kind of ignoring the negative and the negativity?
So what I do on like YouTube is like I block out words that I think are gonna like people might say. So like one big word that like was a huge thing was simp. So like yeah. So like let's say like I post a video, like somebody will say like a nice comment, then there'll be a comment underneath, and they'll be like, "Oh, you're a simp," or whatever. So like, so I would block that out, and people don't know that it's blocked out.
Yeah.
I think that's how YouTube works.
Right.
So like they'll post a comment and be like, hey, you know, like I'm like a mean
Got 'em.
person, whatever. But like they don't know it's not even being posted. So like
that's actually so devious. I love that.
I'm gonna reverse card it.
That's so good. Yeah, absolutely.
So I definitely like try I try not to look at it. And then also like this is like kind of like messed up to say, but I'm already like used to mean comments. I feel like after some time, like it's just like whatever. Like I don't even know who these people are. Like there's somebody like behind a screen. I don't even know like how they look. Like they don't know me personally. So I try not to take it like personally. Sometimes comments do like hurt and like sting like here and there. Like if I'm having a bad day, I'll get like a comment. I'm like, ugh. But like I try not to make it like like, I don't know. I try not to let it like really get to me. And if it does, like, I try to like just relax and be like, you know what? I don't know this person. They don't know me.
That's
yeah,
good.
it's just something you got to deal with.
It just stinks though.
It still sucks, you know. Obviously, you don't want to have to deal with it, but like with an idea like how we're doing here, you know, it's something that no one's done before, and you will get people who will sit there and go, you know, why are you doing this? Like, you know, you've got like no views, or like you're starting from somewhere.
Right.
You've got to get past that original part to then show them like, hey,
Right.
then look where I am in a year, or like, you know, look at the success I do have. And it's, you know, going back to what Lob said about like the whole like, you know, 90% on a test, like you've got to remember like 90% is great, you know. If I got like 50%, I was happy in high school, you know.
Oh dang.
So like,
It's not a pass in the States.
Yeah, it's not.
It has to be 65.
it's 65.
I would say for me it was
That's
like
right one.
68.
Really?
Something as a pass.
Because I guess I'm from New Zealand, which is like, you know, obviously a lot different to like you guys living in Murica. But like,
Yeah.
I think like, because I've been talking to Lobs a lot about like, because I mean like we've known each other, you know, on a mutual level for a long time. You know, we've like been watching each other's streams. We've kind of like been in the same community. But only recently, once we've started like doing this podcast, like almost talking every single day, we've started, you know, like learning how like my dialect is like slightly different in terms of English. Like I say some, like I pronounce words so randomly sometimes.
Yes, I broke this apart now, but this is a clothespin, right? Sorry.
Yeah, but we call that a pig. It's just like stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I also went to a private school. I don't know how we got on this subject, but I went to a private school for 2 years in high school that was like kind of preppy.
Okay.
And a letter grade was 6%. So a 93% was a B. And
I had the same thing.
Really?
But it was 7%. It was when I first started high school, but they changed it. It used to be 90, maybe I honestly think it might have been 96 or like 93 was an A, and then like before that, but then they changed it to like 90% is an A, 80% a B. I hated school.
Me too. And then in New Zealand, they're like, yeah, you got a grade. You pass, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that, I guess. So we're getting pretty close to ending off the podcast, Nat. But one thing I wanted to ask you just before, you know, we end is in terms of social media and the way that you use social media to grow your following and your brands. I mean, obviously Twitter is one of your favorite platforms. That's pretty evident. But like, how did you use social media to, you know, build your brand, I guess?
I would definitely say like I like posting about like my life, and then like also posting about like Brawl Stars. So I feel like just having like both, like just being like I said like before, like relatable. Like I don't intentionally do it. I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna post this because
I want to be
relatable to
relatable.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I feel like people see that and they're like, oh, like she's not only just like a Brawl Stars YouTuber, like she also like has a life, also has feelings, which I use Twitter to vent a lot. I use Twitter to like post funny stuff. I use Twitter to just post Brawl Stars stuff. So I just feel like posting about like what I enjoy is like what like helps. But I also do like giveaway stuff too. Like I know like a lot of people do that as well, but I feel like that helps me grow like too.
Yeah, I definitely think that like Twitter's a very like social platform where usually like the bigger faces, people who have a following, usually were already someone before Twitter, just because of that's how you kind of like grow. But I've definitely found that like, especially in like the mobile gaming scene, like there are lots of people who started with nothing almost, and have just like, you know, built themselves up in this little community. And I've definitely like, I've seen how, you know, toxic Twitter can be. And I'm sure like a lot of people watching this would know how toxic Twitter is. But I've also like seen a lot of good come out of like the mobile gaming scene. More so, it's very inclusive. I've definitely seen.
Yeah, I think it's because the mobile gaming is so tight knit, you know?
Like everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like an easy way to like communicate with everybody. Like I definitely agree. Like Twitter is like very toxic. Like I literally have like 300 people blocked. Doesn't matter if they're a pro player. Doesn't matter if like they're like, I don't know, like big on YouTube. Like
Yeah.
If they're toxic or like rude, I just
You get them out of there.
Like
Yeah.
It's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
I do have one question, and then I think we are gonna wrap it up from there.
Mhm.
But Tribe Gaming is sponsored by Ford, which I think is so cool. And you drove the Mustang Mach-E, right?
Technically, I didn't drive it because I don't have my license.
Right.
Oh, interesting.
But,
Interesting.
Yeah, I just never got it.
Yep.
Because like I live in Chicago, just public transportation. Like if you want to park somewhere, it's like $17 in downtown, which is where I used to work. But yeah, I technically didn't drive it, but yeah, I did have it for like a month.
Beautiful. That's so cool.
All right, because I remember that whole program where they're like, like passing it around almost.
Yes.
Is that like, yeah.
Yeah.
What a cool platform. I mean, obviously Tribe Gaming is very, very cool. Tribe Gaming, hello, I'm sure you're watching this. But yeah, that's basically the podcast. Nat, thank you so much for coming on and just, telling us the highs and lows of your career and just, being yourself and making all of us laugh. That was really, really good.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it. You guys are awesome.
Awesome, guys.
Thank you.
And that's super awesome. So we win. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.